Hello. If you're listening to this, hopefully you're going to listen to all of it. But what we're just going to say before we roll the credits is we are giving away a copy of the Legion of Dawn edition of Anthem on Xbox One. To enter, all we need to do is just share this podcast. Share this one out. Send it to as many people as you can. We want to spread the word. We've done it with our last podcast with Metro. This one's for Anthem. Don't have to listen to all of this. We really don't mind if it's just his first 30 seconds, but, get the message out there and let people know that that maybe, just maybe, we're worth listening to. If you get put in a hat and you get drawn for the Legion of Dawn edition, we may even throw a copy of Apex for free. Hello and welcome to the Codec Moments podcast. Today we're talking a couple of very special, rephrase that, maybe one very special and one mediocre multiplayer games. And to discuss these wonderful titles, I've got Ali Cornwall.
Hello.
How's it going?
Right, mate, you?
Yeah, I'm good. And
lovely.
On the line, all the way from Glasgow to tell us much more about these games, because to be honest, the ones we're going to talk about, I have no idea on. It's Stuart Cullen.
All right.
Hello. How's it going up there?
It's good.
Yeah. Page going well?
Going fine.
Yeah. Still every Sunday, Scottish Sun. Scottish
every
Corner.
Sunday. Never missed a beat.
Yeah. Excellent. Right. So, well, you've probably listened to the intro and know we're giving a copy of one of these games away. We're going to talk Anthem versus Apex, because we thought it quite interesting that EA decided within a couple of weeks of each other to launch two massive multiplayer games. One at a premium price that's been in development for a long time, and one completely for free that nobody knew about. And we are wondering, is it a good move? Has it actually done them harm? We don't know, but we really need to know a little bit more about the games themselves. And this is where my knowledge runs out, because they both begin with A and they both have players, and I'm now lost. So, Ali, Stu, help me out.
Would you want to go first, though? Would you fancy?
Well, should we go in release order? Go with Apex first?
Yeah.
Which is basically Titanfall that Titans.
Yeah, it's Apex. You've no doubt heard 100 million casts talk about it in what less than exciting terms, and we'll talk about it. Apex is EA's chance to see. This has evolved from the original concept of what we were going to talk about, so we're a bit down the line now. So at the time, it had done the 25 million players in 2 weeks, I think it was.
Yeah.
It's now surpassed 50 million in four weeks, which shatters Fortnite's, because I think Fortnite did 25 in 6 weeks, for what I was reading this week. So that kind of gives you an idea of how the fight for the Battle Royale free-to-play crown is now. Long live the king that is Apex.
So Apex is a Battle Royale game?
Yes.
Right.
Through and through.
Okay, and it is freely available on all consoles and PC.
Apart from the Switch.
Apart from the Switch. Not on the Switch yet, anyway.
Yeah. We'll see.
Okay, and go on then. What makes it different to Fortnite? Because if it's taken that player-based crown in such a short time, what does it do differently?
I think what I was going to say was, at the moment, the pinnacle of Battle Royale, if you were to ask me, would be Blackout from Call of Duty Black Ops 4. It's the most polished and refined Battle Royale mode out there. PUBG's alright, but a bit janky. Fortnite, you either get it or you don't. I think the building side, it's not to everybody's taste, and I think this building walls to hide's no great. Whereas Blackout is the core mechanic of a shooter built into it. Whereas Apex Legends is basically the core Titanfall mechanic of running and gunning built into it. And I think because it's free, it's done it wonders. And if I was Activision, I'd be going, kind of wonder if we should have released Blackout as a separate standalone free-to-play Call of Duty mode, like they did with Call of Duty Online in China a few years back, which was a kind of free-to-play Call of Duty, you know? And I think that's the big thing, is it's the quality of the content on display for free is the big plus here, you know?
And I think that the difference with Apex to any other Battle Royale game, you can correct me if I'm wrong here, Stu, is that it's team-based. So you have to run around as a team of 3, and you can revive each other, and you do get some bonuses for being in the team, don't you?
Yeah, the only mode available at the moment, remember, we're only a month since launch, so no doubt there's talk of other modes coming. But at the moment, you can only play as a 3-man squad. And it's very much squad centrical, you know. When you play, a lot of the big thing is you can ping things. They've kind of built this communication system where you just hit the left bumper and you'll tag, it basically tags things, but each thing's content sensitive. So like an ammo crate, it says ammo, says the scope, says enemies, says locations. And I think this is if you sit and look at it, you go, what's the thing that in the future we're going to take away from it? That's the system, i.e. Fortnite's in development here, because I've seen videos of Fortnite with a ping system, which is kind of similar, but not quite as good. So it just kind of shows you how the neighbours are looking at it, you know. And I just think it's very fast-paced. The map isn't huge, really. It's got a nice enough variety. There's kind of swamps, deserts, built-up areas, military bases, villages, blah, blah, blah. It's the usual. And if you've played Titanfall, you can see the lineage, you can see maps. Like you can turn around and go, oh yeah, I remember running across this and killing guys with an auto pistol and stuff, you know. And you can feel the built-inness, you know, that kind of thing. But I think what it's done that Titanfall 2 didn't do is it doesn't hold your hand. It's very much your skill dictates how you are, and I'm probably safe to go on record here and say 95% of the people who win a match are getting carried by superior players. It's one of these ones you see guys going, oh, I've won a match, and it's like, yeah, I've got 3 kills. Yeah, you really won a match, mate. You really gave it. You know what I mean? Yeah, hiding in a bunker is not an option. Well, it is. It's a valid option, but that's what I hate when you see people who go, oh, victory, yes, my team had 3 kills between 2 years. And I think that's a key to it as well. It's the kind of, not so much, I always said that Titanfall was like a virtual hug. You know what I mean? It was like every 2 seconds, it's like, great job, great job, great job. Whereas in this one, if you get teamed with people who are capable, you can get carried as long as you keep your head down and out of the way. You kind of box smart. So I think it's taken that kind of, it's a very interesting way of looking at it, because you look at Battle Royales, a lot of Battle Royales, it's you against everyone, and people don't like that because that's the cold light of day and you gunning down a man, blah, 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 especially when they've got level 3 armour. I hate that. But in this, it's you and 2 other guys, so even if the cat hits the wall, you've still got 2 guys to come and save the day, you know? Yeah. And that's before you get onto the abilities and stuff and all that. Like throwing in airstrikes and stuff, because, you know, it's just no easy enough, you know. But you know, it's here to stay. I think it's made its mark, and I think it uses a lot of the core. It's somebody I know who's saying this. It's took a core element of all the big titles. So it's got a class system like Overwatch. Each hero's got a character, and they're kind of charismatic, but they've all got core skills, and it's finding that perfect balance between skills that might help. You know, Void can teleport, whereas I was going to call him Lifeguard, but he's called Gibraltar. Gibraltar's more a defensive character who can throw a bubble shield and then throw an airstrike, whereas Barrage can throw an airstrike without a bubble shield. Risk reward, you know, but she runs when she gets firing and stuff. And I think it's just the kind of synergy of you and your mates building up together, and the kind of tactics you'll play and stuff. And I think you'll see in time that skilled players will emerge as the kind of predominant predators within this world, you know.
So it sounds very accessible. It sounds like there's no barrier to entry, especially as it's free. But you're in, you play, and no matter your skill, you actually stand a chance of winning a game at some point. Definitely in the early stages. And that feels like a big hook, because you see players who have spent hours and hours within Fortnite and PUBG who still never get near that top tier. Mm-hmm. It feels like there's a lot more reward for this. In fact, my Twitter timeline was spammed with, in the first couple of weeks, with loads of people saying, "Yep, want a match. Here we go, my first match," that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But if it makes you feel good and it's drawing you in, hooking you with that feeling, that's quite a powerful.
Yeah, it seems to be. Yeah. It seems to be Respawn's currency is that emotional blanket. You know, that kind of yay. You know, whereas like you say, at the end of the day, when you drop, it's down to you. You can run in, and if you run into a room with a guy and you pick that gun up, you can gun down the guy that's got 1,000 kills in front of you. Why? He's not got armor and he ain't got no weapon. Yeah. You win. Do you know what I mean? That's the laws of the world, you know, and that's how it is. It comes down to who gets the best kit at the end of the day as well, you know. So it's definitely that loop, and it's the fact it's so quick as well, because once you die, you're back out, you're back in, you're away again, bump, and all the time you're earning points to get cosmetic unlocks and blah blah blah, and you keep pushing, you know. So it's definitely they've refined the art of basically the loop, I think, in this as well.
Okay,
which speaks volumes for it, you know.
Right. So conversely, then, go on, Ali, tell me, Anthem. Give me the lowdown on that.
It's kind of Titanfall. Kind of. So basically, a combat game, a little bit like Destiny.
Okay.
So if you take, you've got a hub that you go into, and there's kind of two different hubs, which is a little bit confusing, where you can go in with other people, but there's like a story area and a ready up area, if you want to call it. I can't remember the actual name for it. And then you go out into the world, do missions, do a bit of free roaming. In your mech suit, and there's, which are called javelins. There's 4 different types of javelins, and it is your traditional, in a very basic way, MMO way of this guy can take more damage, this one can do more damage but die quicker. This is your all-arounder, and this is just a weird one that we're not too sure what it does. And you go into squads of 3. Is that right, Stu? Or is it 4? 4. And basically just take on various missions, and get loot, kill stuff, and like you would in Destiny, you'd go, right, I'm deploying to this mission, which you unlock, ready up with your team, whether that's random people or with your mates, and then go and take it down. And personally, I think the combat is really, really good, and it sounds really authentic as well, especially when you've got the big guns out and you're ploughing things down, and there's lots of different abilities to use. It's not that complicated. So you have a main gun, you have a side gun, and then depending on the javelin that you're in, you can have like almost like mortars coming out of you and rockets that you fire off and different things like that. And you get to upgrade your suit as you progress through the game, and do different things. And at the minute, there's a few bits that are broken. Like you can a level 1 gun that you get right at the very start is better than what you can get from the raids. Go figure. Yeah. But I enjoy Anthem more than I do Apex. Right. I have no love whatsoever for Battle Royale games. They can go themselves.
So that's the basic difference here. So we mentioned
Ali loves one and Ali doesn't love the other.
So what we said in the intro, we've got 2 big titles ultimately. One that's hyped big, one that has organically grown big. Both from the same publishing house, but they are actually different game types. So we're talking massive online multiplayer shooters. You've got Battle Royale, and you've got more of a co-op mission-based world to deal with. Do you think that, getting to that question, I suppose probably a little bit early, but do you think they're cannibalizing sales or player bases? Yes. Or actually, do you think there's a distinct set of people that they have recognised and gone, well, not everybody wants this Battle Royale, not everybody wants another Destiny. We can live with both.
I think they've done the 11 Daylights bit at the end of the movie and cut Anthem's shoe hanging out the airplane and let it fly out the back. I think EA's suicided not just Anthem but Battlefield as well. Firestorm's coming. Oh, Firestorm! Oh, we can't wait for Battle Royale and Battlefield. Oh wait, there's a brand new free Battle Royale. The whole point, and this is that, is free. You know what I mean? Why would you pay any money when you can play for free?
Yeah.
And I know you'll argue, but if you think about it, young kids and all that, if they go in and they see it for free, they'll download it for free. Yeah, you can have an EA Access account and stuff and have a go at it. And fair enough, if you've got Battlefield already, you're going to get Firestorm for free. That's not a problem. But I don't think it's going to make a dent in what Apex is doing. And I think Anthem is just confused. It doesn't know what it wants to be. On one hand, it wants to be an epic, sprawling space narrative about mercenaries saving the world, told through BioWare's standard filter, which is great. But on the other hand, when you've got mates and you've done a mission, you don't want to spend 20 minutes collecting story before going back out and shooting things. Because you've got 4 guys sitting going, right, we're going to shoot things, I'm tooled up, ready to go. And it's... See, I know you kind of drew the line with Destiny, but I drew a line more to the Division. It's very Division-y. It's very, to me, it's very Division. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when you're in the free roam area, because you kind of walk about and random events happen, and you can collect things within that, and then you do the random missions and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, that's great because you're all 4Ds having we're big robots, we're Iron Man, do. But then when the campaign comes, like, I'm the first to say I tried to track the campaign, but after like 20 minutes with playing it with 3 people, I gave up. I just went, let's go and shoot bad guys, and I really tried, but we get bored, and it's kind of like, it's jarring. It should have thought of a better way of delivering the story, and I think playing that, it's a hard one to argue in it, because I know it's horses for courses, there'll be different people who play each of them, but I just don't think it's got the pull and the traction, especially with, like, I've heard people say if it wasn't for Fallout 76, this would be one of the worst online live evolving titles
really
out there. I've heard that bandied about for a few people. I think that's quite harsh, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Because I'm with Ali, the moment-to-moment gameplay is great fun. It's nice, fluid. You fight good max enemies, and you can do like the comboing thing. So they've got these things called primers and detonators.
Yeah, it's like fire and ice.
Yeah,
you fire. So you freeze something and then hit it with fire, and you do extra damage.
Yeah, and what happens is that's kind of, well, you can do it with there's a javelin that called Storm who can do it himself, but you can do that as the team. So one guy will freeze them, and then your big guy will jump in and with a Titan and flamethrower the rest of them and stuff. And it's a nice team building thing, because what happens is you get a wee sound when it's primed, and then it goes combo, a bit like Killer Instinct kind of thing, you know. And it flashes on the screen and stuff, and that's all really nice touches and stuff, you know. But as we're saying, like, is it even going to matter when you've got something, the quality and the finish of Apex there, do you know?
The thing with EA recently is Battlefield 5, I really enjoy it, and I play it online quite a bit on my PS4, but the only reason why I picked it up was because it was 25 quid, I think, around Christmas, something like that. So since, end of October, November time, you've had Battlefield 5, Apex, and Anthem, and Battlefield 5 is
Division 2's next week, isn't it? So that's another thing.
EA development stuff. So you've got Apex. I'll be fair, it's top. I do enjoy it. I just don't particularly like those games because although it's a bit more team based, so you can be revived, but I don't particularly like a game where you can spend 5 to 10 minutes loading it up. You get in, someone shoots you in the head. Great, right now I've got to load into another game.
Yeah,
doesn't float my boat. Anthem is a really good core of a game, but there's no flesh on it, and there's nothing there to entice you to it for a £40-50 game where you can get Apex for free. And then you've got Battlefield 5 as well, and I think they've spread themselves too thinly. I don't know whether they've seen the success of PUBG and Fortnite and gone, we want some of that. We're putting a mode into Battlefield 5, which I think they should have done prior to Apex.
Well, it should have been a launch mode, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah. And I think I saw something today that footage has been leaked online. It shouldn't be leaked online. It should be online, but whatever. And all these different games have their own player bases, I think, as well. So you've got your people that don't particularly like your battle royales, so they will be out of Apex to an extent. Then you've got your people that like your Division, Destiny kind of story-driven, online-y stuff.
Yeah.
Even though the story in it, I've skipped every single one because I couldn't care less. And then you've got Battlefield 5 for your kind of hardcore shooters. But they've not focused the right teams on one and given themselves enough time. I think Apex should have come out Christmas time, Battlefield 5 time. Given that a few months to mature, March, maybe release Battlefield 5. And then later in the year, when Anthem's ready, release that.
Yeah, they should have spaced that with Anthem, especially. I think.
Yeah,
because I think your running the mill guy in the street ain't going to really be able to tell the difference between Apex and Anthem at a distance. You know what I mean? And if they go into the stores, I know Apex was bombed on stores to death, like play for free on the Dash and stuff. So once you got it, and then you're going to be like, well, do I need to pay £40-50 for this other one? Not really, you know.
I was going to say, as a question, should Apex have actually been released at all until, say, mid-year, where they haven't got a huge amount on the slate?
It depends
on
they
could have dropped it at E3. That's the thing, innit? They could have did E3, play it now, and they could have dropped it like an absolute ton weight with a couple more characters, maybe a bit more refinement, you know what I mean? And
but then there's a potential a follow-on from that. Who do you think made the decision to launch it? Do you think it was Respawn? Or was it EA?
No. It's EA all the way.
Definitely EA?
Definitely. Christ, EA's come out and said we're going to have a Need for Speed and Plants vs Zombies before the end of the year. So you're going to have another combat shooter in Plants vs Zombies, you know what I mean?
Which will probably have a Battle Royale mode in it.
That's likely as well, you know what I mean? And you're kind of like...
It's like the new zombies, isn't it? Everything's got to have zombies in it. You know, the last couple of years now we've got to have a Battle Royale mode and everything.
Yeah, and then you get Resident Evil crossed PUBG events because, you know what I mean, zombies and Battle Royale.
Yeah. And I think, I reckon what's happened at EA is someone's been looking at all the analysis and they've said, we've got this game ready to go. And it could have been that they were going to launch it at E3 if they're there, because they're on and off.
They've announced today they've got an event. So.
Oh, okay. So they're there this year.
They've got the new Star Wars game to show, haven't they? So
with a line that says "more games, less talking," and I'm like,
just give us more stuff. But and I reckon someone's looked at the stats and gone, they think that Battle Royale is at its peak, it's at its prime, and I bet they've thought if we release it too late, then we've lost it. If we release it too early, we're stepping on the toes of Fortnite. Yeah. And they've just gone, right, we'll release it here. And they couldn't give a monkey's chuff about what's around them. They don't care about Battlefield 5.
It's their own product, isn't it? Money's money. And it doesn't matter if
the shareholders are probably happy with it. Let's be fair.
Because if they're going to make money off PAX and Apex, they don't really care what happens with Battlefield. It's as if they've sacrificed. And I think that's what we'll look back in years to come and we'll be like, oh, remember Anthem was the death of Bioware, you know what I mean? And blah, 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 and all that. No. At the end of the day, it wasn't the death of Bioware. What was the death of Bioware was the timing of these things. It's like a perfect storm for where they've kind of sacrificed.
So have they sacrificed a little bit of the future as well? Because this is a runaway success, is Apex. They didn't actually expect it to be as popular as it is, and it is obviously good news for Respawn. But Respawn have a massive, massive Star Wars title to deliver on, given the amount of licensed products that have been pulled.
Battle Royale on it.
So is that not just taking focus away from what they should be doing with that?
Well, this was meant to be. This has already been credited as that this was Titanfall 3. In brackets, this was Titanfall 3. So it's kind of like, and they've already said there's going to be another game in the Titanfall universe this year. But I'm kind of expecting, the kind of Titanfall Assault was a mobile phone game. It was alright, but it's kind of like, we really like this universe. And then it's like, because I love the effect that's happened is basically Apex is free, and then everybody's giving it you should really be picking up Titanfall 2 for a $5 because it's an amazing game. And I'm kind of going myself, why is anybody going to pick up Titanfall 2 when they've got a free-to-play game right now? And it's obviously what they want, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not like Titanfall's not like the worst-kept secret in the world. It's a pretty well-known secret, you know what I mean? It's like, by the way, Titanfall's a thing, you know? And I just think it's a case of it's a hard one, innit? Because it's kind of like, is that I was going to see Battle Royale everything now for EA?
Yeah,
You know, it's kind of like they threw their hat in the ring, and you're like, well, it's hard.
the thing is I really enjoy playing Anthem. The storyline needs some anything really. It's just 2 slices of bread with all in the middle. But it's really good fun. Once you're in a game and you're with your mates and you're rocking around and you've painted your Titan up, like my Colossus looks like the Hulkbuster. Why not? And you get to fly around, and the flying's a bit strange because it serves no purpose whatsoever, but you can do it, and it sounds really good, and I enjoy the combat, but there's just nothing else there, and it's like a bimbo.
It's the refinement. It needs refined.
It looks nice, but there's nothing happening between the 2 earlobes, and you're like, well, brilliant. Kind of
Is this really going to keep you?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the thing, and it's like, I know it's an evolving title, it's a live title.
Yeah, but there's only so far that can stretch.
But then you look at Destiny, and Destiny was an absolute... Both times, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 were total car crashes, and it took them to the 3rd expansion pack to save it. Like, the Taint King's amazing, and the Forsaken's amazing. It's like, yeah, that's like 2 years, 2 bloody.
But by which time,
most days.
I picked up Destiny 2, played it to the end raids, and then it was like, great, there's nothing else to do. And then you just like, they're releasing stuff, and you're like, meh, bored now. And then I've not gone back to it. Question for you two. What do you think is EA's last good title?
Oh,
that they have right now?
Yeah, that's live. So what was the last game that they brought, and it doesn't have to be perfect on launch, but it was good.
Controversial, because I think it's a belting game, but you're going to disagree. Because of what reason? Battlefront 2. Forget the loot box absolute massacre. The game itself is a bang-on Star Wars game, and it is a great, fun multiplayer game.
For me, this is even more controversial, and it's a one and done, but I had a hell of a good time with A Way Out. I have really enjoyed that. Cinematic, me and my best mate, we ran through it over the space of 3 nights. Really nice, story-driven, gut punch at the end, beautifully done, blah, blah, blah. Great. It's absolutely nothing like what EA do. Absolutely nothing. It's a story-driven narrative that's one and done, and that is nothing like what they want to do, you know? The other thing I was going to say was I was going to throw Mirror's Edge in there, no Catalyst, because...
I was disappointed with Catalyst. I enjoyed Mirror's Edge.
I really liked Mirror's Edge, you know what I mean? But again, single-player narrative-driven tale.
If I was accepted that, Battlefront suffered the loot box stuff, I would probably have picked Need for Speed Most Wanted. It's been the last one, but because that was basically Burnout Paradise 2.
Need for Speed Underground, that's where it was at.
I was going to say, what do you think the new Need for Speed will hold?
Pain and misery. That's what it'll hold. Yeah.
The last one was basically, this is a Fast and the Furious movie, but it's no really. It's no a Fast and the Furious movie. It's like, Jesus. It's. I'm interested to see where it goes, because I think EA's at its best with Need for Speed when it's street racing and it's on the street. It's no on the track. What was the one they did that was on the track? It was done by, what do you call it? Slightly Mad.
Not Grid.
No, it was really good. There were 2 of them.
Motorsport.
There were 2 of them, weren't there? It was
one had a BMW on the front of it, a big white BMW. Motorsport, maybe?
I can't remember what they called it, because they actually ditched the Need for Speed moniker for the second game.
Shift,
yeah.
Shift 2, because so Need for Speed Shift and then Shift 2. And Shift 2, I think, was a PS Plus title, which was the only reason I bought it. But me and Andy played hours of it, because it was really good fun.
I just think that they're spreading themselves too thin, and they're not focusing on anything. And it seems like, yet again, EA are very money focused. They don't
as
care.
bad as Activision. Let's not pretend. You know what I mean? They are Activision's.
We'll give all these companies credit. All companies are money focused, because you don't survive as a company if you don't bring the money in. I think EA's problem is they focus too much on the wrong practices.
Yeah.
and kind of missed the point of the games. You've said it with Anthem. It's great fun to play in parts, but the story's just not there. Battlefield 5 has not had the game modes that it was supposed to have from launch, and therefore it's badly hit the sales. It went and reduced a fortnight after it released. Has Anthem gone reduced yet?
Don't think so.
Well, there was rumours that it had gone down by about $5 or $10 in the States, but I wouldn't be surprised if it is soon, because Battlefield 5, like you say, went down.
It was within a fortnight.
quid.
It was cheaper. I expect Anthem will drop reasonably quickly. We have seen it with other games. I know it's not EA, but Crackdown was drastically reduced a week after launch. Then there was another one this week that I was reading that I just thought, why is that so cheap?
Square Enix throw the baby out the water.
Well, it actually will, because it was another one. Ali, you said it. The Just Cause 4 is on the Game Pass.
Game Pass.
Yeah.
Already.
That's just to try and help generate money, I think, because it's
publishers are not waiting any longer to discount games. They're doing it while the games are still fresh to try and get a player base in there, especially with your online multiplayers.
Was guilty of that.
Yeah, that dropped reasonably quickly as well. Hitman and Hitman 2, unfortunately. Hitman 2 is fantastic, but by 4 weeks after release, you could pick it up for half price, brand new.
It's no Battle Royale. That's the thing, you know what I mean? It's...
Oh, well, yeah, that will dock it points because Hitman's not a Battle Royale.
Yeah,
no, but that's what I mean. It's that
Hawkins Bay now as well, haven't you? For free. It won't be too long till that's on PlayStation Plus or something.
Yeah, it will be. And yeah, I get that there's these aggressive tactics to try and keep them in public consciousness and keep the sales going. I think EA's problem is that they're forced into doing that because they've not really fully considered the development and the products that they're putting out in the first place. And when they're putting them out so close together, pinching their same audience, then what do you expect?
Someone's going to lose. Yeah. Someone has to lose. That's the short of it. Do you know what I mean? I know they've just released Rush for Battlefield, you would never know. There was a few tweets about it, but you would never know the modes. Yeah, Rush is available now in Battlefield 5. And you wouldn't know it exists unless you were on their Twitter now and again, you know what I mean? But I think what it is I think they looked at the trend right now with younger people, young kids, and they had to get a slice of that pie. It was as simple as that.
There's an interesting point with this, because it's something I'd never actually considered, but Fortnite and its popularity because of its player base, apparently particularly with the younger crowd, whilst obviously the YouTubers make it popular and everything else, a lot actually do use it as a social space. They're actually logged on to chat to each other outside school and everything else, rather than actually being full-on competitive gameplay. They're in the playing, obviously they are doing that. But it surprised me to learn how many people are using it for that reason. And it just makes me wonder, actually, is Apex a little bit the same? The larger amount of concurrent players. People are playing the game. They are playing it. But actually, do you end up with people in because they go, it's a new thing for us to talk over, but we're not actually bothered about the game as such. It's all about my friends. And especially with it being a co-op player base.
I think at the level, it's the cultural phenomenon. Do you know what I mean? As I said at my work, I said, it's by the stage of the new game. It's now a cultural thing. And it's free. Yeah, well, that's the end all. This whole thing will end with basically, if it's free, it'll do well. But EA did the smart thing. They paid streamers to stream it for 74 hours, and then that was it. The damage was done.
Yeah.
So all your big streamers played it and stuff, and then that was it. The damage was done, and it was a case of, but once that seed's planted, it will just germinate and go. And they're sitting talking about the battle pass things coming to it and stuff now and all that. And it's rooted. It just needs to halt. And this is the problem. I think this is the problem with Battlefield. Was Battlefield had a good idea, and it had the roadmap. But the problem was it was getting out cosmetics and stuff. It needed to pay out game modes faster and quicker than what it did. And I think that Firestorm's been held too long. And I'll be honest, if I was EA, I would have maybe have done Firestorm as a free-to-play as well.
Is Firestorm held too long because they saw the quality of Call of Duty and they knew couldn't put it out until it was right?
But then you're just basically making a mode in your core engine. You've built your engine. Your engine's core. You've got big maps. Like if they were each map in Battlefield's broken into 3 sections, if you stitch all 3 of them together into a map, you've got a massive, massive bit of terrain to cover. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't see it being a problem there. As for kit and stuff, it's been easy enough thing. It's all in game. It all exists already. Do you know? So
yeah. The bizarre thing is with Battlefield 5 is the fact that, and this is really bizarre, but you can't buy any currency to buy any of the cosmetics in game. So you have to earn them. And you have to earn a lot to unlock stuff, and it's a lot of games that you have to play to unlock them. So some of them's like 14,000 credits or whatever. And I've put a fair few hours into online multiplayer, nowhere near that. Okay, when I respec and stuff, it cost me like 500 or whatever.
Yeah.
And there's other things that you unlock, but there's no way to buy that currency or buy.
Well, that's because of the fallout for loot boxes, isn't it?
Yeah,
this is all...
but they've kind of gone from one extreme to the other. So I'm not asking to buy stuff so I can get the best gun, but just give me skins, face paints. There's a lot of customization in Battlefield 5, which I quite like, but there's a massive grind to get it. And they've kind of gone from one extreme to the other, where Battlefront 2 you could buy the game and everything else and you've won, basically.
But then if you look at Apex again, Apex is still the Rainbow Six formula. Rainbow Six gives you a select.
Strong, isn't it? It's Rainbow Six.
It's a smart way of doing it, because it doesn't shove it down your throat. It basically goes, here's a map for free, right?
Yeah.
Here's some operators. Operators will change the core of your gameplay, right? Apex, right, launched with 8 heroes, 2 locked in the Rainbow Six vein. Costas, who's a poison operator, and Mirage, who can make holograms. Your ways of getting them, you can either grind and earn credits a la Rainbow Six, or you can buy them with a pass a la Rainbow Six. Do you know what I mean? And it's basically like, if these big companies step back and look at what works, they can make it's like the perfect storm. It's like as I said at the beginning, it's took elements of everything. And it's like I say, you can see Overwatch, I can see Rainbow Six, I can see COD, I can see Fortnite, I can see everything in it, and it's just a perfect storm, and it's a perfect balance, if you know what I mean. And I think it's going to set a benchmark for moving forward.
Right.
And I think that terrifies the living out of me, because I know games as a service is a thing, it exists, we can't get away from it, you know what I mean? For Christ, Battlefront 2, it's had loads of DLC. I've not played it for months. I didn't know General Grievous was in it, or Anakin Skywalker's in it and stuff.
The Anakin push has been the big thing recently, and it's what's made me update the game and thinking, actually, I'm going to have a blast on that this weekend.
But
because
again,
I'm just going to see what it's like, because I always had fun with the game. It's always been good. But you're right. The last time I played that was 3 months ago.
Same with Battlefield. I played Battlefield 5 solid for 2-3 months. Once it had launched, every night, bump, lots of games, operations, doing the unlocks and that, and then it just lost my attention, and it just faded away, and I'm like, do I want to go back and play Rush? I'll probably will play Rush for a bit, but then I'm like, I'm not really touch it till Firestorm lands. Apex, I'll play as a social game, i.e., when my mates are on, I'll play it as a good laugh and that, but I'm not going on to sling hooks with randos and have a good time, you know what I mean? But at the same time, it's not really my bag, that kind of thing. Although you can play randos, it's built to be played with randos, but at the same time, you know what I mean, it's kind of like it's finding something that puts its hooks in you. Like, if I'm honest with all of them, COD's the one that gets me. COD, for some bizarre reason, I can play Black Ops 4 till the sun goes down, and I don't know why. It's got a really nice, it gives you a free token for your battle pass at the start. First win in the day gets you a free unlock on your battle pass, and then it's just nicely generating, because I think it's because it's got the progression system of COD, so I'll unlock scopes, gear, blah, blah, blah. But then on top of that, I'm unlocking Battle Pass content as well, which is a really nice wee bonus. So you might play 5 or 6 games, get some new unlocks as standard. And I think like the big telling thing in that is, usually I've only prestige once ever in a COD, and that was to Prestige 2, just to see what it was like back in Modern Combat 1. Or 4. In Black Ops 4, I'm Prestige 7 now, and I don't even know why I do it. I just don't know. I'm just doing it. Might as well do it.
They've got you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But you know what I mean. I've never done it before. I've got over like 10,000 kills in it. What the hell? Like, where did that come from? Do you know what I mean? It's just me jumping on, playing 2 or 3 matches a night before I go to my bed, and just enjoying myself. And I'm honestly thinking about buying the season pass for it, because I'm like, well, I'm getting my money's worth of it.
We mentioned it earlier. And and a question to you both, but do you think because of Anthem's flop, do you think that's going to push more players towards Division? That's what they're saying. I mean, I'm looking forward to the Division. I quite like the story and the setting.
Division had a bad beta. A bad beta.
I don't think it was too bad.
It was, a lot of people I know played it, and they said it was, like, we played it at EGX. It was decent. It ran smooth. It was the Gamescom build that I played as well there, so it was like no surprises. But a lot of people I know played the beta and they didn't like it because it was crashing and janky and freezing, and there was tearing and there was lots of issues in it, and it was a really bad build. And I think that's had a knock-on effect, you know what I mean? And I don't think that's going to... But then Anthem had a beta
Anthem
as
didn't
well.
have a good, it didn't have a good set of demos, did it?
So
I don't know if it will. I think because Anthem's your new IP, I think people have been interested in it. Like you both said, it is actually good fun to play. There's just got some
it was number one in the
it.
charts this week,
But,
so it's no.
But your Division 2, I think, has a core player base from the Division anyway.
Yeah.
So I think they're going to that. Whether people who've picked up Anthem, who aren't usual regular players, may actually be cautious over the Division 2. If they don't
just
like
get a
what they
refund
see
from Anthem and play the Division.
Well, yeah.
I think Anthem's got the plus, the bonus it being a Bioware game, because I think a lot of your Bioware fans will have bought into it. It's the same way as Fallout, you know what I mean? Fallout 76 was what it was, is what it is, and a lot of Bethesda fans bought into it, you know what I mean?
You know what, you mentioned earlier on, so I'm going to put this one to you. Anthem, is it the shuttering of Bioware?
It's going to be close. It's going to be another nail in that coffin.
Aye, it's half a nail, if no a full nail.
Because Mass Effect was
Well, Mass Effect gets shelved. It's like,
yeah.
what?
Well, no, but the Andromeda was
Well, but Andromeda, they killed the DLC. Andromeda was an absolute dumpster fire.
Was that Bioware though? Was that did Bioware do Andromeda?
That was their bread and butter to an extent.
Did they not farm it off to somebody else?
No, it was BioWare Mark II, because obviously, like, this is the thing, it's like, it's the same way all these things, all these companies are like Mark II now. It's like, only name exists. All the guys who
so the original BioWare team in effect weren't there, it was just the BioWare name.
Yeah, pretty much. And and they shelved it before any DLC came out for Andromeda, which is insane. And then this has come out. And I know there's a backlash within certain communities because obviously Dragon Age is getting hung out now, and people are worried because they know a Dragon Age exists, but they're scared that it's not going to happen because this has failed, basically. You know what I mean? I say failed, it's sold a few copies.
It's sold millions, you know. Is it delivering what EA expect it to deliver and why they put the resource into it? And that's the question. And
not
I think
when,
you're right. I think it's a no.
Not when it's, as we were talking before, not exactly bricking consoles, but it's really chaffing up people's PS4s to the point that not so long ago, Matt, you had that issue with your PlayStation where you had to rebuild the database.
Oh, yep.
Boot it into safe mode and stuff like that.
Yep.
And that's what they're advising people to do. And not a lot of people that have consoles are necessarily that technical minded to be able to figure out how to do it. And they're having to do that. And then they're issuing refunds for it. So it's not bricking consoles, but it's very close to it. Before, other games, you might have to close it down and maybe restart your Xbox or your PlayStation or whatever for it to kind of take it out of its memory. And it might just be a memory hog. Whatever. Nobody cares about that. Turn it on and off again. Usual ITs, then off you go. Don't play it for a bit till a patch. And it's taken nearly a week to patch it. And it has seriously knackered up a lot of people's PlayStation 4s to the point that they've just gone, uninstall, I want a refund. I'm not having this on my... And that's what? 2 weeks after release?
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit more. I don't know whether it was a patch that's caused that or they've got so far into the game or what.
It's because it's a live game, innit? They're just rushing stuff out of it. They don't need... I don't think live games go through the same like verification programs as what standard games patches do.
I don't know, because I know, well, if it's an update to the actual server, they won't. If they've got to update the client on the console, I think it'd have to go through a similar-ish.
Yeah.
Could be hot. We're really we're in the midst of hot fixes in it. Is what it is. Yeah. And standard issue is some hot fixes will work, some hot fixes won't work. Some hot fixes will stuff up. That's what we're finding. And the question is, once this dust settles on all this, is anybody going to still be here? And that's the question. Especially because we're 2 weeks out of the Division 2. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's just the argument is there's that many games in new vying for our time. I blame Red Dead 2, which has got a Battle Royale mode nobody talks about. Let's not talk about it.
Yeah.
That's a surprise because nobody talks about Red Dead anymore.
Interesting.
Yeah, but that's because the online stuff, everyone I think had such an expectation. They had that bar from Grand Theft Auto 5 thinking, wow, basically we're going to get Red Dead Redemption, but Grand Theft Auto 5, but Red Dead Redemption skin on it, and we'll be owning our own ranch, we'll be running around on horseback together, and it's just...
No, but the thing is, Rockstar were smart. They went, right, we can give you everything right now and the game up for 67 months, or we can just release it in a nice, gentle path. And what happened was everybody get off. We're going, there's nothing to do. Well, there's nothing to do because if you read the stuff, they're releasing it in stages so it works. And I think that's a ballsy move because obviously, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, come back to Red Dead in 6 months' time and it'll be amazing. There'll be a world and blah, blah, blah. But it's just people that know are like, oh, what? But you can either have it all at the same time and broke or have it work step by step.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of people can't see the forest for the tree, and that's another argument in itself. But again, a live service title that is Red Dead in it.
So pulling this background because we have really moved away from the Anthem and Apex questions right at the beginning. Haven't we?
We're just setting the world to rights. We're setting the world to rights on live to service games.
So okay, and I think I know the answers here. But if you were to recommend to people who are listening, Anthem or Apex, if they fancied a multiplayer online game, which one would it be?
Battlefield. Sea of Thieves. Oh, crap. Crap, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'd say Apex if you're playing with your friends, but if you're playing alone, I would say Anthem. Because
so you would actually recommend them both in different situations.
Yeah, because I think alone in Anthem you'll get a lot more out of it. And it also does that thing of matchmaking you on the fly. So when missions, you need people, it puts them in with you. And it's a better lone wolf experience, Anthem, than it is a multiplayer experience.
Okay. Yeah, when you're ready to go into a mission, you go in.
Yeah.
You dictate. So you soak up all the lore and the knowledge and the story in your time instead of having your two mates going, come on, man, come on, we want to go and shoot things. Come on, time's going on.
Okay, you know so Ali, are you going to sit on the fence or are you going to go...
No, I'm going to go completely against anything that I've just said. So I would just pick Apex. If you've got a PS4, I wouldn't touch Anthem with a barge pole because if the game is that broken and you've got to pay 40, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, whatever, if you get it digitally or 100, whatever it is.
80 quid for the top of the range one.
Yeah.
Which you could win.
Yes, this is a gentle reminder. We're giving a copy of this game away that we're not recommending.
So if you've got a PlayStation 4, you've got to go Apex. It's free, so you're not going to waste any money, and it works. Anthem doesn't have either of those at the minute. If you're on Xbox, both technically are free if you've got EA access. So give them both a go. You're not got anything to lose. You've got 10 hours free on EA access of Anthem, which is what I'm playing it on at the minute.
Yeah.
And then again, Apex is free. So I would go Apex if you don't want to waste any money and you want a game that works really, really well. I'm just not a personal fan of those style of games. I've played Apex a few times when it came out. I had a look, and I prefer the team-based kind of stuff. But yeah, it's free. It works, and it's fairly polished. Yeah. Don't know about that many bugs and whatnot. Anthem, give it 6 months, it's either going to die or it's going to be a phoenix and rise up out of the ashes of everyone's knackered PS4s.
Right. Or it's going to go free to play.
Well, yeah, there is that.
Right, well, thanks very much. I appreciate both your opinions. I think you've convinced me. I'm going to go and play Metro.
Not buy either.
It's been interesting to listen to your thoughts on both the games. I'll be honest, the more interesting conversation is actually when we have digressed slightly and the EA practices, business model, and what are they doing. But in fairness, no one's ever going to know the answer to that one. That is, that's mysteries for all time in play. Okay, then. So, Stuart, how can people get in touch with you?
They can find me on Twitter under Furious Free, and you can read my column every Sunday in the Scottish Sun and over at the Codec Moments website.
Yep. Ali, if they want to come and join you on Anthem.
Yeah, Cornwolf everywhere. My Twitter handle's got an underscore in between it, but yeah.
Excellent. And I'm manning the Codec Moments Twitter account, so at Codec Moments. If you want to get in touch with anything you've listened to on this show, remember to tag that in if you are sharing this podcast and want to win a copy of Anthem Legion of Dawn edition on the Xbox.
Yeah, the one that won't brick you.
Yeah, apparently the one that works. So thanks very much for listening. Head over to the website to catch reviews, news, Scotch Corner, and all sorts of other bits and pieces whenever we get them up. And we'll be back the usual time next week. We even get to say usual time now because there is one. So take care and goodbye.
Bye.
Catches.
You was waiting for me to say catches, weren't you?
He won't let you go first this time.
Catches is my catchphrase.